Callahan ran a personal best at 6:40.
Turns the wheel in.
Oh!
There's a touch, he's gone!
So much one wide.
It's been a battle royale between South Australia, Queensland and New South Wales drifters so far this season, and the home track advantage has proven to be imperative, with each round win going to one of the local stars. For the first time this weekend, the battle will be fought on neutral territory, as Symmons Plains Raceway in Tasmania plays host to the penultimate round of the Toyo Drift Australia series. As the season end draws near, the championship hopefuls are looking to net some vital points. But with a year that's been littered with upsets and boosted by the arrival of more young, talented superstars, points at the Plains are going to be more precious than ever. A full field of drivers have made the trip across Bass Strait and are ready to sink their teeth into the Apple Isle. This is round 4 of the Toyo Drift Australia series.
Hello and welcome to Symmons Plains Raceway in Tasmania for the drifting event of the year. This is going to be an absolute corker because it rides so much on the championship. In fact, this weekend, the top 3 places are filled with Leighton Fine, Bolger and Yates. Now, who'll take it out, of course, is anyone's guess. But if it is one of these fellas, they'll be one step closer to taking out the series this year. Let's go downstairs right now and catch up with some of this year's contenders. Well, Robbie, you had a great win at Queensland Raceway, mate. Can we take it off and win the championship?
Yeah, of course we can, mate. Manara won in America. Japanese cars had their day. It's like 15 years coming into the country now. They're just scrap, mate. If you listen really carefully, you will hear them rusting.
Competition's pretty fierce out there coming into the second last round. There's 32 other guys out there trying to compete well to get in the points for the end of the year, but I think we're going to give it a good shot this weekend.
Look, we just got to go hard and see if we can stay ahead of that big Monaro. We're just trying to stick in the top 4, top 8, just keep consistent, keep reliable, and yeah, do our best and see what happens.
This round sees the Drift Australia series feature the debut of 3 new drivers. The absence of Jared Danaher allows Gators teammate Rob Arbolino to make the big step up.
I debuted at Eastern Creek in Super Drift. As you said, this is the first DA round for me. But yeah, there are some big boys, Robbie Bolger and all that. I'm sure they've got a lot more experience than me, as I haven't even hit 12 months of drifting yet. So yeah, we're hoping to really mix it with the big boys this weekend. It'd be good for Team Gators, Forenza, Auto Style Garage, all our sponsors. It'd be really good.
A regular in the Victorian drift scene, Kuda El Hui is here this weekend to make his mark in Drift Australia.
I just entered DA. This is my first round, and I definitely would like to keep on going with it next year. Very, very, very excited. And I thank my sponsors for bringing me here, JDS Auto Imports, and Drift Australia for having me here.
The Drift Australia series has continued to gain the attention of superstars from all over the sporting world. And round 4 will see world BMX champion Luke Fink launch his assault.
It's another sport, it's a judge sport, it's not a team sport, so I like it. Obviously we have our team, like our team that works on the car, but when it comes down to it, you're in the car, if you stop up, it's your fault. You know, all of my friends do it, we've all gone from BMX, like I still do the BMX very much so, like in the competition and whatnot, but you know, just bringing it onto this, all my BMX friends all doing it, skate friends, everything, so it's just, yeah, awesome sport.
In hooking up with Holford Motors, Fink has found himself behind the wheel of a car that is sure to be competitive.
It's an XD1 car from Japan, so it's straight out set up. We haven't touched a thing on it really. We've tuned it for a bit more power. Other than that, straight out of Japan, D1, we haven't changed suspension. We softened it up a little bit for the Australian tracks because they're a bit bumpier. Other than that, it's full Jap spec. Yeah, I'm in it for the long haul either way. You know, if I have to build my own car again, I'll do it, you know. But, you know, I think me and Holford Motors, we're in for the long haul. It's gonna be fun.
For the second round in a row, it was Bo the Show Yates who was the standout performer in qualifying. The #1 qualifying position gave Bo a bye run in the round of 32, and early signs showed the New South Welshman was very capable of making it 2 round victories in a row. The second battle was between JJ Markowski from South Australia in the Adept Electronics S13 Sylvia and Nathan Wiesel from New South Wales in the R32 Skyline. Nathan had qualified very strong at the previous championship rounds and was disappointed to have qualified 17th at Symmons Plains. The first run was scored very closely by the judges, but the Skyline driver had the upper hand in the second run, and it was Wiesel that booked himself in a showdown with Bo Yates in the top 16. Engine problems from Danny Denzo Verhumis in the Wheelworks Nissan saw him jump into one of Robbie Bolger's Kappa stunt utes for his top 32 battles against Darren Muse.
Mate, this thing's great. You can get in it, you can drive to Melbourne, Sydney, back, drift it, put your dog in the back, some potatoes and go home.
Danny gave it everything he could in the near standard ute, but it was Muse that had the upper hand in the S14, making it 3 New South Welshmen in a row through to the top 16. Lean Mean Eugene Aronson from Queensland has had a phenomenal rookie season so far this year, with top 8 finishes at the last 2 rounds in his 180SX. Eugene came up against Mark Marchison though in the round of 32, and it was the South Australian that impressed the judges the most, and the former world rowing champion was bundled out early for the first time this year. Next up, a battle between 2 killer drivers in 2 wild-looking cars. Corporal Christian Pickering in the Camo S15 and fellow South Australian Cool Kelly McKinnon in the Nankang-sponsored Skyline. McKinnon justified his reputation as one of the most consistent drivers in the field with a top 4 qualifying position. But the Corporal gave Kelly his marching orders in this encounter with a dominant performance. The 2 most powerful drift cars in the world lined up for the next battle. The massive V8s of Robbie Bolger in the Kappa Monaro and Johnny Udy from New Zealand in the legendary supercharged Kappa Drift Ute. Robbie was going to have to work for it in this one though, having blown his clutch earlier.
Mate, basically, we think the clutch has exploded down to my abuse from the clutch. I've been quite hard on the clutch, kicking it and stuff, so I think it's expired slightly. Obviously my fault. I spun and got a bit angry with it and kicked it a bit harder than I should have probably, but what can you do, mate? V8 power against Japanese cars and the Japanese clutch broke.
Johnny drifted wide on the first left-hand turn, but took the fight back up to Robbie in the second as he came to grip with the Ute's incredible power on the tight layout. It wasn't enough to stop the big Irishman though, and it was Bolger that would go on to face off against Christian Pickering in the next round. Rob Arbolino from New South Wales made his Toyo Drift Australia debut at Symmons Plains in the Gators-sponsored 180SX. A mistake by Arbolino on the first run was all that was needed for West Australians Adam Truella to capitalise on his top 5 qualifying position. It took 3 battles to separate James Verhumis from South Australia and Dan Mackey from New South Wales. The first battle was too close to call, and the first rerun saw James hit the kitty litter and Dan Mackey back his Skyline into the wall.
Oh, mate, I just came in a bit hot behind James, and once you come in too hot over there, particularly that rise, which we knew was going to be a problem, it just unsettled the car, and that was it. I was going backwards, and pretty much the rest of the time, you're just a passenger.
Another rerun was called, and eventually it was Verhumis that took the win by the narrowest of margins. The second half of the top 32 started with a bye run for the #2 qualifier, Leighton Fine. The current championship leader was lucky to be here today after a nightmare start to the weekend.
Mate, yesterday morning, first thing, we snapped the diff. So we've had just a nightmare of a day yesterday. We've had to drive about 350 k's to find a new diff, and then we've had to go to some backyard farm to weld it up. It's just been shocking.
The South Australian Toyota driver has led the Toyo Drift Australia series since winning the opening round at Mallala, but with home track wins by Robbie Bolger at Queensland Raceway and Bo the Show Yates at Eastern Creek, Leighton knew it would be critical to come away from Symmons Plains with a strong finish. Another top South Australian driver, Mark Phillips, went head-to-head with Fernando Well from New South Wales in the next battle. A straighten by the Martini Skyline gave the first run to the Sabre-sponsored 180SX. Things went from bad to worse for Phillips in the second run, handing a clear victory to Fernando. South Australian Speedway's Craig Vanderstel did a superb job in qualifying. However, the bad luck continued at Symmons Plains for the reigning DA champion, Darren Appleton. A gearbox problem for Appleton's Peer Industries Nissan 1Via left a popular Queenslander without the use of third gear, which took him out of contention. Yet another Queensland versus South Australia contest in the next battle when Adelaide's Steve De Palma took on Dan Keneally in the Hog's Breath Cafe and Toyo-sponsored Skyvia Ute. Mistakes by both drivers forced them into a rerun, but it was De Palma who took both runs in the second battle to progress through to the top 16. The next battle saw Tom Monkhouse from South Australia in the Mitsubishi Evo up against Tasmanian-born Michael Truscott in the Phillips Performance Lighting S13. Michael is the only Tasmanian-born driver on the DA roster and is keen to put on a show for his home crowd.
It's really good to be back, and they've really taken to us really well this weekend. Of course, we're motivated to get a really good finish this round for our sponsors, Phillips, KYB and Federal Tyres. We started off well, and the last couple of rounds not so great with a few mechanical issues and a few dramas here and there, but I mean that's racing, and you just get on with the job and do your best at the next round.
The judges scored a win to Truscott in the first run with superior points for speed, line and angle. The second run went to Monkhouse, but overall it was a 10-7 to 9-3 win to the local favourite. Next up was a very interesting contest. The Drift Cat, Catherine Calero in the Sabre-sponsored 1Via, up against a wildcard entry that everyone's been talking about, World BMX champion Luke Fink. Fink was out to stamp his mark on the Drift Australia series, and some problems for the Drift Cat gave him an easy run through to the top 16. Yet another wild card up next, Kulda El Houli from Victoria up against the man that finished third place in the last round, James Mardle from South Australia. Both drivers in Nissan S13 Silvias, Mardle in the Extreme Drift Clutch car and Kulda in the JDS Auto Imports entry.
Obviously Silvia, SR20, done a lot of modifications myself. Good 350, 400 horsepower. I'm sure it's up to it.
A slight points advantage to Kulda on the first run, but a slip up on the second gave the win to Mardle. The interstate battle continued in the final top 32 contest. Chris DeJager from Victoria in the GFB Skyline versus James Mioch from New South Wales in the 180SX. Two great looking cars and two very close runs, but in the end it was DeJager that took the final spot in the top 16. The Toyo top 16 looks like this. Yates, Weissel, Muse, Marchison, Bolger versus Pickering, Truella and Verhumus, Fine, Whirl, Van der Stelt versus De Palma, Truscott and Fink, and of course Mardle versus DeJager. Well, we're about to get the round underway here, a big crowd on the hill, but let's have a quick look at the points, and they are as such. Leighton Fine leading the charge with Robbie Bolger chasing him down, and Bo the Show Yates snapping at their heels as well. Kelly McKinnon there, so is Danny Verhumus. But right now it's top 16 time, and I welcome to the commentary position none other than Jeff Bullis. Welcome, my friend, and let's get it on.
Welcome, my friend, and let's rock and roll. Look at this, Bo Yates, Nathan Weissel, two New South Wales boys, first time in Tasmania. What do you reckon's going to happen?
Well, Dana here at the Apple Isle. Anything can happen as Yatesy fires out of the hole. We're now JVC chase car straight away, I might add. And look at these guys heading over past the beach towards the Greater, and Yates opening up a great lead.
Yates off to a huge lead straight up racing, Jason. It's part of his battle strategy, the way he does it. Look at that nice flick there through the Toyo switch. And it's going to be a pretty good win to Bo Yates, you'd have to think.
They certainly are. Both guys new to this track here in Tasmania, as you can see, getting a handle of it. Nathan throwing the car around in a vain attempt to catch up with the show, but he is gone. Let's swap him around at the start line. The starter says go. The JVC chase car chases him down, and we go on board with Yates behind. And look at Weissel trying to unsettling him going over the rise, but this looks like it's going to be a really tough battle.
Not exactly vintage Yates just yet. Yates is known for attaching himself to the rear bumper of the car in front of him. Bit of a straighten there from Yates. Hang on a minute, this could be a little bit more interesting than we thought it would be. Catching him up at the end there, but the judges will penalise that straighten.
Yeah, they certainly will. As you can see, coming through here in the Greater, Yates straightens up quite severely there, and Weissel stays on it, heading through the switch. But we have a look at the points, and the judges are gone with Yatesy with 11-9 win over Nathan.
That's right, Jason, but only by a narrow margin due to the fact that there was that straighten at the end there. How's this for an exciting battle, though?
Oh, it certainly is. We've got Darren Muse up against Marky Mark all the way from South Australia. I understand he drove his car a majority of the way as we release the cars at the top end of the track. Muse is going to fire off, and Marky all over the back of him already.
It certainly is. That's how you got to be in a drift battle. You got to be right on the back of the guy in front. Demonstrate to the judges what you got. But Marky there, not quite attaching himself, and there's the straighten. Did you see that? Big straighten there by Marky, and that's going to cost him.
Certainly is, and Darren puts the foot down, and he is absolutely gone. Now here you can see him coming through, holding a really nice line, heading towards the Greater. Keep your eyes on Marky at the back. There's the straight. Game over.
That's right, Jason. Game over. Let's go for round two.
Swap him around now. Looks like Marky's going to lead out. Darren's going to chase him down, but he knows he's going to have a bit of an upper hand here. Marky's got nothing to lose, and he's already sideways and really working the car hard.
Yeah, he sure is working the car hard. Let's have a look to see if we can keep up. If Muse can keep up with Marky, I think he's pretty much got this one done and dusted. But he's managed to keep the horsepower down there, which is good. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, coming down now, you can see Marky's really committed right here, but have a look at Darren. He's just as committed, and he starts to get in touch with him through the mid-track here. Somehow, some way, the power comes down, and of course, the win goes through to Darren. 11-9, Mark takes an early shower.
Yeah, that's right. That's another close one there, Jason. Once again, Muse on the basis of a better win the first half around. And talk about good battles. They just keep coming, don't they?
They certainly do. Corporal Christian Pickering up against Rock and Roll Robbie Bolger in the 900 horsepower Monaro. This guy's ready, locked and loaded. And I tell you what, there's no love lost between these two either.
No, certainly not. A bit of that Queensland versus SA rivalry stuff going on, that's for sure. Jason, tell us all about this one.
JVC chase car leads us in, but now we're up on the top on the scaffolding. We can see it from where the spectators are. Look at these guys absolutely hammering through the corners here. Monaro puts the 007 smoke show on, but Christian, oh, he's gone a big spin. We're going to, contact as well.
Yeah, a little bit of incidental contact there. I think what happened was as he turned around, he just kept floating backwards a little bit and Robbie just collected him. Nothing really serious to worry about there. But I think you'll find the Corporal there was just trying really hard. He knew that he was going really well in a battle against one of the top liners, and he wanted to just keep going and push that extra little bit, went a little bit too far.
Let's swap them around, ladies and gentlemen, in with the JVC chase car. This is a good idea to show you how fast these guys are going. That's an Evo we're riding on board with across the top of the rise towards the beach. Look at that, Corporal turns in nice and early. The Monaro's already setting himself up. Oh, bit of a straighten there from the Corporal. Here comes the Monaro. The foot is down. This guy is gone.
Look, one thing Robbie Bolger's been working a lot on is making his transitions really big. He's got a lot of angle one way and he flicks it around the other way. You'll see it here. That really makes it hard for Corporal Christian because the slightest little error by him gets pronounced heavily, and there it is, emphatic victory. Robbie Bolger goes through.
No, certainly took him out. 14-6. Pickering takes the early shower. Let's swap back to the start line in Borneo. Adam Trella from WA in the Safiro, the flamethrower, up against the Iceman, James Verhumis from South Australia. Quite an evening pairing here. However, the cars are slightly different mechanically. But watch for the smooth driving style of JV in the two-door there. The big Safiro, I tell you what, it's got some grunt.
The Safiro has got a heck of a lot of grunt, and also it's got the best flame action coming out the back of that exhaust on deceleration. Look at that, Borneo with a good lead straight out, Truella there, and James Verhumis doing his best to keep up with him. James Verhumis probably the most experienced competitor in the field here, and he's got his work cut out for him. Definitely not demonstrating as much angle as Borneo, for instance.
No, certainly. Have a look at this way. The way Borneo flicks the car back. Total commitment coming over the rise. That's a blind rise, ladies and gentlemen. Comes past the beach where the sand is. Of course, if you go to the beach, you always lose something, so you don't want to go in there. Around by the grader, both cars committed. I just can't help but thinking Borneo's got the upper hand on this one. JV looking 100% committed. They fire off. You get an idea here of the run-up to the first corner.
They've got a huge amount of run-up to the first corner, and what it means is they're carrying heaps of speed when they hit it. Let's see what happens now.
Well, in goes Verhumis. He's got nothing to lose. The bar's off after an early excursion. Back comes Truella. He's trying hard, but the Iceman's pushing. Oh, but here comes Truella. Look at that. Caught him up through that part of the track, and good traction from the big beast.
Look, not only is it excellent use of the horsepower, but it's just really good driving technique. He's hung on to that angle all the way through there. He's done a really good job. Both guys straightened up a little bit there. Let's watch what happens through this section, though, because this is going to tell us the story. Gathers him right up under drift. There it is, the straighten again there. And we've got a rerun.
Rerun. You got to love this. I love it when this happens. You know, we can't pair them, so what do? Let's run them again. And that's exactly what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. The front straight is where they're going to gather their speed. First, second, third, fourth. Lots of turbocharge. Heading across to the blind side. Truella, textbook style entry. In he goes, pushing nice and hard.
Yeah, definitely. How about this? Plenty of speed there from the following man, James Verhumis, keeping it really close. The judges are going to have a hard time on this one already.
Well, they certainly are. As you can see, the Evo all over the back of them, using the four-wheel drive, and the drift cars really sliding nice and hard through those corners.
That's for sure. Now let's have a look on the replay here. Both guys got the drift on pretty early. There'll be better points for the line there going to Borneo. Bit of a straighten there as well, as you noticed. But Borneo, they're picking up the line the whole way along. It's fairly easy to stay wide in a corner. What the judges are looking for is someone who can really pick up the apex.
Notice James just jumping around in the seat there. Could be a little bit unnerved about this one. He's going to take off now. This is what it's going to come to. JVC chase car footage lets us have a look where they're going to head. Verhumis has gone in nice and early, and back comes the Safiro. Safiro's really raw right out the side there, but Verhoeves has spun. Yeah, I just didn't think it was going to happen for him, and there was an avoid from the Safiro there as well.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much an avoid there. That's a Nissan Safiro, for those of you who aren't aware what that is. It's also called the Tokyo Taxi.
Tokyo Taxi.
The big four-door Nissan version of the SR20 engine car. Check it out here. James Verhoeves comes up there, commits nice and early, but just tried a little bit too hard. And Borneo there, seeing that he was trying to take a little bit of evasive action, I think the judges will come down in his favour on this particular one.
Yeah, I was surprised the JVC chase car didn't spin as well, but let's have a look at the judges' score, and they come in as this 14 to Truella, 6 to Verhoeves. Bye-bye, Verhoeves. Let's cross the pits with Daniel Gibson down there with Adam.
Made a great battle with Verhoeves to get into the top 8, mate.
Yeah, no, it was a tough one, but a good one, I thought. Yeah, great experience.
A little bit of a rerun and a rematch and a bit of a grudge here and there.
Yeah, no, I struggled a bit behind him the first time, but luckily I beat him the first time, so he called a rerun, so he gave me another shot at it.
Current points leader now on the start line, Leighton Fine. This guy needs to take some points from Tasmania, and he's up against Saber's own. Of course, none other than Fernando Wells. Both cars fire down now. Oh, the little A86 rocking and rolling nice and early. Both cars are 100% committed past the beach, heading towards the Greater. They turn in early. Quite a good pairing here. Both cars are evenly matched. Heading out of the Toyo switch, the little A86 has got his foot down. Fernando's trying to come back at him, but Leighton is gone.
That's right. What happens here, if you have a really good look, okay, the small lightweight Corolla Sprinter there does an excellent job of carrying the speed through the corners. Watch the way he kicks it. He flicks that back of the car around and just makes it really difficult for anybody to get better angle than him, and that's what really impresses the judges, Jason.
Let's go in car time. I know the judges if the judges could see this, it'd be so easy to judge, because look at this cool angle. Down comes Fernando. Massive brake he's opened up. The big SR20 turbo working overtime, but here comes Leighton in the little A86. Look how much he's caught him up through there. Oh, Fernando's putting his foot down, but I'll tell you what, Leighton Fine all over the back of the Sabre cars. We head towards the Alpha Bridge. Both cars almost side by side.
Look, Fernando has a massive horsepower advantage here, and this is where he can really take advantage of it. Massive early entry there, and then Leighton comes flying up. Look at the way he gathers him, not carrying as much angle as him though. And then Fernando takes it away from there. Look, that last battle was even. Judges couldn't split him. They went on the first one. Leighton Fine goes through. Unlucky for Sabre's Fernando Whirl.
Well, that's unfortunately the way the cookie crumbles. But right now, Steve De Palma on the start line. Now he's up against probably one of the best rookies we've had all year, Craig van der Stel. Have a look at this car. Is this not a work of art?
That car is most definitely a work of art, but he's got his work cut out for him. Steve De Palma's been around this scene for a couple of years here.
Well, he certainly has, and in goes Craig. He's got the new wide track setup on the car. The Black Beast goes in nice, and he does it to Palmer. It does a pirouette, goes through the beach, takes the sand, and Craig is gone.
Look, really easy one to judge there, Jason, but I think you'll find that extra wide track that a lot of cars are carrying, that really assists them in terms of keeping the car progressive the way it moves around, unlike there, the case of De Palma, where the car snapped on him. And look, that can happen when you're really trying hard.
Steve's been taking some dancing lessons, of course, from the Nisrek there. He's only a young guy as well, only about 18 years old as we go on board with Van der Stel. Now, have a look at the immaculate preparation. Oh, pulls on the handbrake as well. Now the Nisrek car's got nothing to lose. He's going to turn in nice and early. Watch him put the foot. Oh, nearly takes out the back of him. Craig using his sprint car skills to avoid the accident there. That was pretty close.
I can't believe that. You only really see from the onboard exactly what's going on there. We'll get a good view here. But because De Palma turned in so early, he sacrificed a lot of speed, and Van der Stel, how about that? Only goodness knows how he missed him.
Well, I tell you what, it was nearly a little bit of goal with a black stripe on the back of it. As we turn it around, have a look. The judges liked what they saw with Craig. 13 to him, 7 to De Palma. Craig goes through to the next round.
Yeah, and Van der Stel was actually carrying the drift box there, so I think he'll be going back to the pits and downloading that one.
Start line now, we've got Michael Lightning Truscott in the Phillips car, and of course he's going to be up against none other than the rookie, the guy that's just started out, Cool Hand Luke Fink.
Cool Hand Luke, he's made his name in BMX riding. He's a world champion BMX rider.
Rock on.
Yeah, but let's see how he goes on four wheels.
Well, he's driving the Holfords car this weekend. The Phillips car is going to come down, both very similarly powered. Let's see what they've got for us. They turn into the competition area. Oh, absolutely nothing but commitment from old Truscott there. But here comes Luke. He's coming back at him nice and hard. This is an interesting one because he's only a rookie, and yet he's up against one of the seasoned campaigners, and he's all over the back of him.
Look, not only is he all over the back of him, he's got really good line, and he's emulating what the car in front is doing. If you can can do that, that is extra points with the judges.
Certainly can. Cool looking crowd on the hill as well. It's great to come to Tasmania and get a lot of people coming out and seeing this exciting new sport, and it seems to be working very well. We're getting a lot of new competitors. A worried look there on Michael Truscott's face. He's thinking, who the heck is this kid?
Look, Truscott's a Tassie local, so let's see how he goes here. We'll see if he's got any of the extra knowledge. How about this, though? Luke Fink has just taken it away.
It's all game over. Look at that, mate.
Not only has he taken it away, but he put so much pressure on Tasmania's Truscott that he spun the car.
Well,
how about that?
Truscott could be looking to go down to Old Boaks and have a bit of a drink nice and early, mate. Have a look at this. 100% commitment here. He goes over the rise. He's turned the wheel. He knows he's gone too far. Adjusts the stereo, pulls the handbrake and says, time to go home.
He's got it. He's got it. He's got it. He's lost it. Unfortunate there, but Fink has opened up a big gap on him early and forced him to do something that he didn't want to do. Really good work from the rookie.
Look at the aggressive nature that Fink attacks the corners, and of course the judges like what they see. 12 to Fink, 8 to Truscott. The Tassie-born competitor goes home early.
Yes, the crowd on the hill won't be happy with that one.
At least they'll be able to get a signature in the bits, I suppose.
That's exactly right. Plenty of time for that now.
Chris DeJager in the go-fast bits, up against James Dean Martle. I just love this guy's helmet. He's just such a character, isn't he?
He certainly is a character. I can't believe he was surprised by the cameraman there.
The Extreme Drift Clutch car's going to lead out. And here comes Martle. Pushes nice and hard, but DeJager, who has been absolutely on fire. He's been pushing it. Oh, it's a bit of a problem there from Martle. I don't know quite what was going on there.
Both guys did grip up there a little bit. Now, I'm sure the competitor who's following will say something like, oh, I was emulating, but I think you'll find both the guys just gripped up a little bit.
Well, let's have a bit of a look on the replay now. Both cars come through perfectly through the top by the beach, heading towards the grade. A bit of a straight there from Martle, and of course Diego trying to emulate does the same.
I think he's pretty much done the same there. I don't know that it was deliberate. I think it was more of a case of whoops from both competitors there, but plenty of sportsmanship and camaraderie being shown on the start line. That has all evaporated now the cars are in motion.
They are in battle, ladies and gentlemen, and it is go time. The yellow GFB Skyline goes in nice and early, 100% commitment. Good line there. Now, that's a relatively new car this year, but the Extreme Drift Clutch, Sylvia, of course, he's been around for a while driving that one, and it shows. Look at him catching up there.
Look at that. That's really good work there from Martle at the end there. I think the Jager had the best of it early here, although he didn't quite pick up the line. Look, James was really good on the exit there, and from that point onward, James pretty much had the initiative. Look what he does from there. It's excellent. And a slight win there to DeJager. That was actually a drawn battle, the second one. So there you go. 11-9 for DeJager over Martle, and Martle can catch the early ferry.
The Toyo Top 16 is gone, ladies and gentlemen, but don't go anywhere because there's plenty more action coming here from round 4 of the Toyo Drift Australia series. Making the trip to Tasmania has proved to be a gruelling task for all the teams this weekend. Two drivers that are no stranger to travel, though, are Adam Truella and New Zealand's Johnny Udy, who make the long journey to each of the Drift Australia rounds.
Yeah, my frequent flyer points are starting to stack up a little bit. I'm just about here every month, so I'm just about claim citizenship here, pretty much. The guys from Queensland are sort of taking me under their wing, so I'm probably an honorary Queenslander at this stage, but still support New Zealand. I'd love to bring some guys home. Like, I'd love to share the hospitality that they've given me over here and just repay the favour. And thanks to Drift Australia for giving me the opportunity over here as well.
West Aussie Adam Truella consistently makes the long trip east with every round of the series and is pumped about the prospect of a round being hosted in his home state.
Oh, look, if Drift Australia came to WA, it'd be like a dream come true. You know, I've always wanted to have the home track advantage, but it just hasn't happened yet. So if the guys come over, I'd be stoked. It's really starting to grow. It's really starting to get really big, you know. And I mean, when I come back after these trips and put on a big show, it lifts the spirit of everyone, and everyone just steps up that little bit more. So it's great.
Adam's involvement with the Hyperdrive team has proven to be a successful combination.
Yeah, they've been great. You know, they've really helped me out, really sorting everything out for me. I just really just a driver now, and they just sort everything, so it's great. Yeah, we want to have a really good crack at it next year, so we're trying to do as much as we can this year, get as much experience behind the wheel, and just try and step it up a bit for next year.
The weapon of choice for Adam and the Hyperdrive boys over the last couple of years has been the flame-throwing Nissan Safiro.
Oh, I love it. You know, it's a really good car. It's a big car. what's a grunt, but yeah, no, I love it. We spent a lot of time on the dyno getting it, 100%, it's really responsive, and it really runs really well. We estimate it's around 400 horsepower at the wheels at the moment. We'll definitely be here next year, hopefully with a new car, a faster car, and hopefully a more competitive car.
The Toyo Top 8 looks like this. The show, Bo Yates takes on Darren Muse. Bolger takes on Truella. Vine versus Vanderstelt. And on his debut, Luke Fink takes on Chris DeJager. Okay, Jeff, let's get straight into it. On the start line, we've got Darren Muse. Have a look at how serious this car is. It's even got plastic windows at the back in order to save weight up against the bad boy. Bo, the show, Yates, and the silver A86. These guys are go.
These guys are definitely go. Two New South Welshmen once again going up against each other here in Tasmania. Look at that. Bo Yates with an excellent lead off.
Certainly is going past the beach, and he is 100% committed, wants to get through and get some points and have a real hard go. But of course, it's a spin from Darren Muse. So it is game on for Bo the Show Yates.
Bo the Show Yates looking very good. Darren Muse unlucky there. Look at that. The way Bo attacks those fast corners makes it really hard for the guy following him. He has to do something special, and on this occasion, Darren Muse has tried a little bit too hard.
Well, it's a little bit nippy down there, as you can see. The lovely ladies at the end wearing jackets as we are on track. Nothing to lose from Muse now. He's trying everything he can to unsettle Yates in the Silver Beast, but it's not going to happen. The Pier A86 is on maximum attack, but here comes Muse, pushing nice and hard. Spun here, gets through okay. Back comes Yates. Yates is keeping just a nice cruisy profile here, taking care of business.
Yes, he is keeping a cruisy profile, but he did actually grip up a couple of times in the run. One in particular that we're going to come to shortly, but I think you'll find he's probably just trying to do enough to get through without risking it too much. That's exactly what he's done. Muse with a big win, but Yates with a bigger win in battle number one, and Yates goes through. How about that?
It's been a good day for Pier and GCG, but just blatant brake checking coming into the first corner. It just seems that we've got a lot better car speed today than the majority of the field, and just having a little bit of trouble coming to turns with the speed of other drivers coming into turn one. But I think we're through to the next round, so we'll see what happens in the top four.
Back on the start line, we have got Rockin' Robbie Bolger in the 900 horsepower Monaro. Who's he up against? Oh, WA's finest, the Hyperdrive Safira, driven by none other than Adam Borneo Truella. Let's get him going. Oh, front straight action. Look at them accelerate away. Of course, look at the Evo trying to keep touch. That's four-wheel drive, and these guys are gone.
They've definitely got a horsepower advantage over the Evo, Jason.
Oh, not a very good angle from Bolger on that one, especially compared to the Hyperdrive car. He's pushing nice and hard. The Monaro puts his foot down. I'm keeping an eye on the Hyperdrive. He's gone out the screen now. Monaro's threading a way through because that's a big car on a tight track.
Yeah, but the guy can drive, Jason. Let's have a look on the replay here. The angle from Bolger isn't outstanding. A little bit of a straighten from Borneo as well. This is an ugly battle.
It certainly is, mate, but I tell you what, it's a beautiful surroundings in the background, so that doesn't matter. It compensates. Let's go. Truella out the front. Bolger's going to chase out. Massive clutch kick, pulls the handbrake. 100% commitment. You're going to love this in-car footage from JVC as he has opened up a huge break. Back comes the Monaro, but I tell you what, the Safiro is out of there.
The Safiro has definitely got the better angle, and he's really making life tough for the Monaro. The Monaro's having a hard time keeping up.
Oh, not as good as angle from Bolger as we're seeing from Truella here. Truella's really committing. He knows he's got to get through. Bolger's coming back at him here in this part of the track, but it's only going to be the judges that are going to be able to sort this one out. Let's have a look at the mug shots and see what sort of points have been allocated. 11-9. Truella goes through. Bolger goes home. Let's cross to Daniel Gibson in the pits, who's got Adam in the hot seat.
Well, mate, this is absolutely huge.
Yeah, I'm over the moon just to be here, eh? Nice fucking man. Yeah.
And the crowd are loving you.
Yeah, the crowd, everyone's coming up saying hello, saying you're mad. It's really good.
Well, good luck, mate. It's going to be a tough, against Bo the Show, but...
Yeah, it will be, but I'll give it everything I got, man, and we'll see what happens.
Next battle's going to be an interesting one. The Extreme Drift Clutch sponsored A86 of Leighton Fine up against Craig Vandenstelt in the 180SX. Let's cross the pits and see what the boys had to say before the battle.
Craig's a bit of an unknown. I haven't really seen him drive all that much, but he's been on fire this weekend. He's been doing really well.
Leighton's, he's top of his game, so we're still coming up and we're learning. I don't know, it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to battle him and follow him, and hopefully we can maybe pull away from him when we're in front, so we'll see how we go.
Back on the start line now. Let's lock him into rock and roll. We've got Leighton Fine leading out up against Craig Vandenstelt, the Flying Dutchman, or Tulips, as he's known to his mates, believe it or not.
Tulips.
In they go nice and early. Craig trying to close in nice and tight, but Leighton putting the foot down like only Leighton can. Going through the Toyo switch, good in-car footage there. Around they come. Oh, Craig picks up a bit of speedway dirt on the outside of the line.
Yeah, just went for a little bit too much angle there and it slowed him down. I'm sure he'll download that one on his drift box later on and have a look at it. But if you check it out, he manages to make up really good ground on Leighton Fine, which is no mean feat when you're chasing an AE86.
Well, let's swap them around now. Look, you can really see that wide angle on the back of those tyres there. Really big track as Craig comes through the top of the beach there, heading down towards the grader. He's 100% committed, but back comes Leighton. This is where he's super quick. Watch him close it up through here. Oh, the Dutchman's trying as hard as he can, but he's all over the back of him.
Oh, no, look, that's what it's all about when you're drifting a lightweight car. Have a look at this little bit of a straighten up there. Oops, daisy, and once again he'll be able to check that one out on his drift box. But at the end of the day, I think he's going to be in a little bit of trouble here.
Crossing across to the judges, what do they got to say? 11 to Fine, 9 to Vanderstelt, and Finey goes all the way through to the next round.
But how about the Speedway driver, the rookie Vanderstelt, taking it up to the series leader? What an excellent effort.
Next battle is going to be Chris DeJager up against cool hand Luke Fink, but let's cross to the pits and see what the boys had to say about the battle.
Well, another local Vic boy, so I've driven with him before, so it should be a bit of fun. We've got fairly different techniques coming into the first corner, so yeah, it's got to be interesting. I think I've got a fourth gear, just kind of chuck it in. He's got a big Scandinavian flick coming in, so it's going to be an interesting one.
At the moment, the power steering's cutting in and out, so halfway through a battle, all of a sudden the steering's getting harder and easier, and it's difficult, but it's not impossible, so we'll see how we go.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're pretty serious guys there, Jeff, and they're on the start line ready to go. I think he's going to lead out, and Chris is going to chase him down. Look at the skyline. Got a few battle scars on it, but we are straight into it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the debutant is on maximum attacks in the Blue Beast. Fink is gone. Back comes DeJager. JVC chase car time. We follow him through the grater, heading towards the Toyo switch. Both cars come back. It's a pretty clean run.
Here we've got a situation, Jason, where there's a clear leader and a clear victor. Have a look at what he's done here. Fink, the rookie, has come flying through. DeJager, in his attempt to catch him, didn't demonstrate as much angle.
DeJager leads out now. Fink's going to chase him down. It's game on, ladies and gentlemen. DeJager in the yellow beast has got nothing to lose. And look at that, he's 100% on it. But back comes Finky, pushing nice and hard. Oh, the blue Holford's car tries to get up the back of the GFB car, but he is well and truly working the wheel. Going through the Toyo switch, both cars come back. That's a tighter battle.
That battle is really interesting. You can see there that DeJager knows he's got nothing to lose and just throws caution to the wind, but Fink manages to match him the whole way. Fink is doing an excellent job here for a rookie.
But I tell you what, he's done it nothing more than absolute full throttle action. You can see there all over the back of the skyline, not letting him get away, transitioning the cars as the judges tell the story. 13 to Fink, 7 to DeJager. It's game over. Let's go down to the pits and get the reaction from Cool Hand Luke.
Hey, congratulations through to the top 4.
Oh, I'm wrapped, mate. I came here and I said if I make top 8, I'll just be the happiest man out. Now top 4, Cinderella story, huh?
Time now for a look at some of the action from the team drift competition, thanks to Extreme Drift Clutch. This event is always a crowd pleaser and has been dominated so far this year by Team Delirium from South Australia, and Tassie was no exception. For every round this season, stunt rider Matty Mingay has supported the Drift Australia series by ripping it up on the track. Matt's back, putting on another awesome show for the Tassie crowd. The Toyo top 4 is locked in and they look like this, with no less than 4 states being represented. Bo the Show Yates from New South Wales up against Adam Truella from WA, and Leighton Fine, the current series leader, up against the debutant Luke Fink from Victoria. We are back down on the start line, Jeff, and it's very important because you know what time it is?
It's top 4 time! Woohoo!
That's right, this is the pointy end, and if we go nuts, we apologise for our commentary display, but it is crazy, and we are go! Leighton Fine is going to do battle with, of course, Cool Hand Luke, the series leader, up against the debutant. Through they go, slamming the gears, tyres smoking. Oh, a big straighten there from Leighton, but Cool Hand keeps his foot into it. Leighton's going to have to come back. He swaps the cogs and goes through the Toyo switch, and he does it too hard!
How do you like them apples, ladies and gentlemen? Absolutely unbelievable. The series leader with a straighten. He knew he straightened. He knew he had to make up for it. That's probably the worst thing you can do, is if you start playing catch up, you're in big trouble. You saw the straighten there, and then he comes around to the Toyo switch, and look at that. Big spin out wide, and look at that. Luke Fink had to get around him, somehow managed to do that. But all of a sudden, we've got the rookie with a well-earned advantage over the series leader. What happens next?
Well, I'll tell you what, he gives us a thumbs up after hitting that cone. That's worth 1,000 points, but let's follow him in. This is the final battle. Luke's going to take off now. Leighton's going to come back with a vengeance. He's got nothing to lose. Look at the inside line there. Takes a different line. He sets himself up through the grader here, but Fink is on fire, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, but this guy is on a roll. Oh, back comes Finey, but unfortunately, I think it's a little too late.
I think it might well be a little bit too little, too late. Let's have a look here. Leighton Fine, again, not demonstrating excellent angle going through there. Once again, Luke Fink with a very consistent performance. The JVC chase car tells the story. It's Luke Fink. How do you like that? 14-6. The rookie gets over the top of the series leader. Let's go down to Gibbo.
Well, boy, oh boy, if you put the cat amongst the pigeons through to the final.
Oh, look, I can't believe it, man. I'm wrapped like you wouldn't believe. Like I said before, top 8, you know, a dream come true. Top 2, I can't believe it. You know, either way, first or second, I don't care. It's going to be good. I'm going to battle hard. I've got nothing to lose.
Well, we've seen the first 2. Now it's time for the second 2. There's the Peer AE86 tune agent by Bo the Show Yates up against, look at him, doesn't even know why he's supposed to be there. This is the furthest he's come. Adam Truella from WA. WA versus New South Wales. Let's get into action. AE86 versus, well, let's face it, that thing is a flamethrower, ladies and gentlemen, that white beast. But the silver car is gone. The Peer Beast is gone, and AE86 Bo Show is putting the hammer down. But here comes the Safiro.
Here it comes. You better believe it. And look at that. Bo Yates has responded, though, and said, listen, I'll let you catch me halfway through, but I'm just going to extend on you. Take that one to the bank, son. What do you think about that? Bo Yates picked up some sponsorship there from Tune Agent this year, and certainly showing the goods. Shows Truella a clean pair of heels. But what's Truella going to do this time around?
In car, of course. Look at him slamming away through the gears, heading towards the beach. Clutch kicks the car. You can see everything go crazy. Pulls the handbrake, and now he's opened up a huge break. Well, we've swapped it around. Big flame pops out the back. Oh, Bo does a big crazy move there. Oh, this is going to be a hard one to judge.
Truella's given him back a bit of his own medicine there. He said, listen, son, eat my dust. But then Bo, as is customary in the lightweight car, has come through and tried to catch up, but he's just tried a bit too hard. He's pointed in, and then look at that massive straighten. The judges will not be happy with that. It's a rerun! Yeah.
Let's go. Mate, I'll tell you what, if you want to get into the grand final in Toyo Drift Australia Series, you've got to work for it, and we'll run you till the sun goes down, and let's get it on. The Tune Agent, Tier, GCG Turbo, Bo the Show Yates, A86 heads on in, gratuitous plugs all around, followed by the hyperdrive car. Look how close they are, though, Jeff.
Now, this is more like it. This is championship stuff right here. Bo Yates travels really wide, loses the side skirt. Don't worry about that. Demonstrates some pretty good angle. Now, Borneo goes really wide. Whoops-a-daisy.
And have a look at this. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's count him down. 3, 2, 1. Goodbye, Mr. Side Skirt. Thanks for coming. But it's not over yet. Look at this. Going through the Toyo switch. Back comes the hyperdrive Safiro and says to the JVC chase car, you're following too close. Have some of my back bar.
There it
There
is.
you go. It's crazy time.
This is just demolition derby action here with the Toyo Drift Australia series.
Okay,
Top
let's go.
notch.
Let's go. Safiro, he needs to take the win. He's going to try and defeat Bo the Show Yates, and he's going in nice and hot. Here comes the white hyperdrive car. Through the grader he comes. This is where Bo the Show lost his side skirt, but not this time. He's holding an inside line, and back comes, pushing nice and hard. Both cars get through unscathed.
Once again, really tight, close drift battle action right here. Look at the way Borneo takes it up early, and then Bo the Show Yates, as is customary, catches him up. Look at him there in the office. Adam Truella looking around going, heck, I can't see him. Where is he? How about that? And the judges, by the narrowest of margins, after a rerun, 11-9, Adam will be over the moon.
Borneo, you're through, son.
Yeah, I know, I can't believe it. It's been on. You know, it's good stuff. Oh, just come so close to hitting him, mate. So close.
You're up against a new bloke, the Fink, the BMX Bandit.
Cheers. Oh, we'll see what happens. See what happens. Everything can happen.
Good luck.
Thank you.
It's time to check out some of the best rides in Tassie in the Auto Salon Show and Shine, with thanks to Ignition DVD magazine, including Jason and John White's R34 GTR that won Targa Tasmania in 2005. Don't forget to pick up the October edition of Auto Salon magazine, on sale at your newsagents right now. Toyo final time now as Adam Truella from WA bundles out Robbie Bolger and Bo the Show Yates to get through. And on debut, cool hand Luke Fink dispatching Chris DeJager and Leighton Fine for his shot at the title. Okay, let's go third and fourth place battle, and it's a Hutchie absolute extravaganza on the start line there. We have got Leighton Fine up against Bo the Show Yates. These are the dominant Toyota Sprinter drivers here in Australia. Who will be number one? Bo says, I will be. The thumbs up there. No, I want to be in number 3. I'm going to take this guy down. Let's get it on. Crab 86, as viewed by the JVC chase car, is going to be the chase. And down goes the Bo the Show. Let's go overhead and follow them as they come in through. In goes Leighton Fine. Oh, look at that! What a huge drift there from Leighton Fine.
How about that? He has hung on to that drift for longer than I've ever seen anybody do it at this circuit this weekend. That's an excellent effort. Really good close drifting there. How about this? Look at that.
That is absolutely insane, ladies and gentlemen. You're talking over 100 kilometres an hour, sideways in a little car like that, commits himself and comes back, and as you can see at the top end of the track, he's all over the back of Bo Show. It's like a hemorrhoid.
I wouldn't go that far, Jason, but I think I know where you're coming from.
Well, let's swap them around at the start line. Leighton's going to lead out. The Show's going to come down. Oh, snaps a big flame out the back of the exhaust. He wants back in this, but again, look at that. Leighton with a huge slide, absolutely massive slide, dominating early on.
But did you notice Bo Yates mimicked him pretty much the whole way? These guys are hanging on to the drifts on the entry for so long, it's not funny.
Look at the commitment from this guy. The tyre is leaning sideways. Leighton Fine has absolutely got this thing nailed to the floor. Bo's trying to come back at him, but I tell you what, it's going to be a tough one to separate. And the judges say accordingly, 11 to Fine, 9 to Yates. Let's cross to Gibbo in the pits with Leighton.
Yeah, look, it was a really good battle. Bo's a tough competitor, and yeah, really happy to have got one up on him.
Yeah, it's been a great weekend. It was great to see those two little cars on this tight and twisty Tasmanian track. I know that you've got a lot of people you want to thank for getting you.
Look, I got to start with Nankang Tyres, because without them I wouldn't be here. Absolute legends. I got to thank Martini, PPG, Steve from A-Spec, who's had a shocker of a weekend running around trying to fix my car, and just everyone else that's helped out, the local Tassies that gave us the stuff. You're all legends.
Toyo Grand Final time, ladies and gentlemen, and I am absolutely pumped. Adam Truella, first time into the Grand Final, and the debutant, Luke Fink, cool hand Luke, up against him. Jeff, this is going to go nuts.
Nobody has made the final on debut since Leighton Fine in Adelaide. This is what it's all about, guys. Borneo, which is a bit of a Cinderella story anyway, up against the young guy, the rookie, the absolute rookie. Watch for the handbrake. It's coming shortly.
Big stab up the inside. He tries to go on the inside of him.
He sure does. Has a bit of a look down the inside, then tries to follow him up again. Look at this.
Oh, he's coming back at him. He's giving another shot.
Right up on the bumper there. How about that?
Hey, look at this there. Here you go. You can see him. Stabs up the inside. Leighton finds down the other guy to take that line. He has a shot at him. Doesn't make it stick. Goes out wide here. So Truella's in the front, and I'll tell you what, that is inside. Points to the Halfords Motors. He knows that's where the love is all coming from for his car. Here comes Truella. Now, keep an eye on that handbrake. Watch him yank it hard. Here it comes. Here here it comes. Let's get it on and dance. Up goes the handbrake, car goes sideways. It's the final run, but Fink is gone. He goes through the grader and he's got the Holford's car sideways and moving at an immense rate. I tell you what, I don't know who this kid is, where he's come from, but he is nuts.
Awesome angle. Absolutely awesome angle from both of these guys, but I think Luke has just got a little bit more on Adam there. Have a look at Luke there in the blue car. Check it out. You think he's going to spin there, but ladies and gentlemen, that's what drifting's all about. He's hung on to that one. Racing Jason, I would not want to be a judge in this one.
Give it
How
to
do
us,
you
boys.
split these guys?
Give it to us.
I don't know.
Give it to us. Oh, he's taken the win!
Oh, you beauty!
The debutante, unbelievable. 11-9. Fink has taken the win. Let's go to the pit and get his reaction.
Well, Luke, congratulations, mate. You've won your first Drift Australia round.
I won.
You won.
Oh, mate. What do you say? What do you say? I've come from nothing, nowhere. Man, first of all, Holford Motors. Without them, I wouldn't be anywhere at all. I bought my last car from them. They're letting me drive this car. And yeah, and Dr. Drift for his tuning. So, what do you say?
You got into the final, just wasn't enough. Never mind.
I hope I did well. Yeah, see what happens.
It's a great effort, though, to finish second.
Oh, thank you very much. Cheers, guys. It's great.
Well, what a fantastic event it's been here at Symmons Plains Raceway in Tasmania for round number 4. The points look like this. Leighton Fine, Robbie Bolger and Bo Yates separated by 150 points. It is going to come down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, the wire, where's that going to be? Round 5, Oran Park Raceway, September 23-24, the Toyo Drift Australia Series. But don't forget to check out all the latest goss, update, and of course that all-important points table at www.driftaustralia.com.au. That's all from round 4 at Symmons Plains Raceway in Tasmania. This has been the Toyo Drift Australia Series.
Callahan ran a personal best in 640.
Turns the wheel in.